sit up nice and tall in your chair. Lengthen through the crown of the head, ground down through the feet. Just take a moment to settle into the space. Feel the weight of the feet on the ground and the support pressing back up to ground you, hold you. And once you're settled, begin to lengthen through the spine and through the back of the neck, and allow the shoulders to soften down the back so that your skeleton is really doing the work here and everything else can soften down around it. And as you start to settle, relax the muscles from the crown of the head all the way down to the tailbone. And then down through the tops of the legs, down to the feet. And let out some big open-mouthed breaths to release any tension or stress or stale air stuck in the body. Drawing you further into relaxation. And similar to what we did last week, we will choose a focal point to help guide us today and anchor us. So it could be a sensation that you're feeling, maybe some tension that you'd like to work out today. It could be your breath. It could be a thought or a word or a phrase, maybe something you're grateful for. But choose just one thing to keep revisiting through class. There's no expectation around this. It's just a way to anchor your experience. And anchor into this one thing with curiosity and awareness rather than any judgment or opinion necessarily. And begin to deepen your breath even more. Breathing deep to the base of the ribs, deep to the belly, feeling them expand with your inhale, and then fall away with the exhale. We'll use these deep conscious breaths to guide our movement. And from here, draw awareness back to the feet, still breathing deeply, maybe tapping the toes, tapping the heels. And then we'll start to make this more of like a rocking motion through the feet, lifting the heels up as high as you can, then the toes, maybe rolling deeply through the ankles, getting out any creaky parts in the feet this morning. And then from here, we'll walk our toes a little bit closer together, press through the ball ends of the feet, and lift the heels as high as you can. That might mean that you need to sort of step your toes back a little bit closer underneath your knees and really press into the ground, almost like you're trying to stand up on your toes. And then you notice if your heels are sort of kicking out like mine, can you draw them closer together a little bit? Yeah. And then windshield wiper them all the way over to the right, all the way up, and then over to the left. You might need to reset a little bit. Really stretch through the ankles, through the soles of the feet, and then we'll tap it out. This time ground down through the heels and kick the toes up as high as you can. Now windshield wiper all the way to the right and the left. Moving side to side. Notice where you feel it now. You might feel it in the front of the shins, the sides of the shins, sides of the feet or the ankles, and then tap it out. Okay. Now we'll keep tapping it out, but turn that tap into a march. Sit up nice and tall, ground down through the tailbone, lengthen up through the back of the neck. As always, our safety rails to the sides of the chair. But if you're feeling a little crazy today, maybe your hands reach up towards the sky or out to the side. You can sway side to side, maybe engage the core a little bit as you do this. Maybe you start to move a little bit faster. And then can you move slow motion? And as you're doing that, you can also choose to not even tap your feet down to the ground. And if you're doing that, instead of leaning back, can you still try and stack your shoulders over your hips if you're hovering your feet? Really good job. Everyone feel that in their core? Mm-hmm. Try not to. Lower it down, shake it out. Okay. Now this time we can keep the feet on the ground. Reach your right knee high and then extend the foot. Bend and extend, still sitting nice and tall. And then as you extend, stay here and wiggle through the heel and then rotate through the entire leg. One more time. We'll pulse 3, 2, 1. Lower it down, shake it out. We'll switch it out to the other side this time. Left knee lifts, bend and extend. Stay with your breath. Maybe you come back to your focal point here. When things start to feel really difficult, maybe that focal point is your anchor that you come back to, that you stick with. As you extend, we'll rotate out, rotate in from the entire hip joint, out, in, and then pulse 3, 2, 1, lower it down, shake it out. Great job. Okay, from here, reset so that you can find a nice flat spine. You stay anchored down through the seat, but feet are about hips width apart. And then ground down through the feet and start to shift your weight forward into your heels. You'll notice that the heels start to press into the floor, maybe the middle of the foot as you shift forward. This should feel like a really big stretch in the back of your body. So in the back of the hamstrings, in the back of the glutes. And once you feel that stretch, you all know the drill. You can maybe start to hover the seat a little bit and set it back down. This is a really small movement. This is difficult because it's the very bottom of our squat. And this is like how we get out of a chair without any momentum. So just practice that. It can be anywhere along that line. One thing to notice, if you notice that your knees are caving in or out as you do this, really try and keep your knees stacked. Another little hack is to bring your hands to the outsides of your knees as a little reminder to keep your knees pressing on top of your ankles. We'll do that one more time. Then we'll stand all the way up. Nice. And go ahead and walk over to the right side of your chair. That left hand can come to the top of the chair for some support. In the past few weeks, we've been practicing standing, so we'll continue to do that. So spread the toes nice and wide, and then set them back down into your shoes or onto the floor. Ground down through the ball mounts of your feet and the heels. And imagine you have a little suction cup with your foot, and then lift up through the very center of the arch. As you do that, we'll engage the quads, lift the kneecaps. Point the tailbone down, you'll feel the butt cheeks sort of squeeze a little bit. And then heavy through the shoulder blades, the collarbone is shining forward. And then lengthen from the back of the heels all the way up through the back of the neck. Just notice how it feels to stand this way. We're really using the muscles to help keep this nice posture. Now keep all of this. Left hand will come to the lip of the chair. We'll shift our weight into the right foot, and you maybe just peel that heel off of the mat, the left heel off of the mat. Still lifting up out of the right side. You may choose to now bring the knee up. Nice. And then you can step it back down again. One more time, bring the knee up. Maybe you lift the hand for a second. Bring it down. And then from here, we'll step the toe back, the left toe back, just about a foot or two. and take a nice deep bend in the front knee. So these are our single leg squats. As you do this, it's just a little baby bend in that front knee, as big or as small as it wants to be. As we lower down, all the weight, or most of the weight's in the front foot, the booty's sort of shifting back as the knee stays tracked over this foot. So if you notice the knee is moving out to the side or wobbling a little bit, just try and keep it centered. It just keeps the knee joint healthy. And only go down to the range of motion that feels okay. We'll do that one more time. Feeling this in the back of the glute, maybe the front of the quad, and bring it up, shake it out. Good job. We'll go ahead and walk over to the other side. So from here, we'll practice standing once more. Spread the toes, set them back down, ground down through the feet, lift up through the center of the foot, engage the quads, glutes, all that jazz. Sit nice and tall. Maybe the hand comes to the chair as you shift the weight to the left side or the left foot. Maybe just the toe. Maybe you bring the knee up. Maybe lift the hand and lower down. Just to tap, come right back up. And now as you lower down, sweep the leg behind you, just about a foot or two. Deep bend in the front knee and lower down. So for those single leg squats. I am a huge proponent of single leg everything or single arm. This gets into all of the little stabilizer muscles that we don't use when we're using both of our legs at the same time. So this helps us walk for longer, bring our knees up for longer, also keeps us balanced and stable for longer. So it helps reduce falls. So all single leg work, 1000%, one of the best things you can ever do for yourself, even though it's really hard. And bring it all the way up, shake it out. Go ahead and sit back down. I'm apologizing in advance. Go ahead and sit towards the edge of the chair. We did this last week. And then start to walk your hands towards the back, so towards where the back of the chair meets the back of the seat. And then from here, just start to shift the shoulders back. And this might be where you stay. You might feel your core already start to engage. If you'd like a little bit more, squeeze your knees together, maybe hover your feet. Maybe you start to hover it all the way back until you're bouncing on your booty. You can keep the hands down or reach them up. In yoga, we call this boat pose. Wherever you want to land for 3, 2, and 1, lower it down. Really good work. Whew. Who knew chairs could be so mean? We'll bring our hands to our knees. Inhale, open up the chest, cow pose. Roll the shoulders down and back, shine the heart forward. Exhale, cat pose, big crunch of the front of the body. Open up through the back. Inhale, open cow. Exhale, cat. Now as we inhale, open, come to your cactus arms, your goalpost arms. Elbows come out wide, really open up. Maybe you even lift the chin if that feels okay on the neck. Exhale, crunch your elbows towards each other and in towards your belly button. A few more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. And now as we inhale, open, this is where we'll stay. And start to swim it out. So reach your fingertips forward. And then the fingertips like as far back as you can. So it's almost like, how do I want to explain this? It's almost like your shoulders are the center of a yo-yo. And the yo-yo is, you're sort of like swinging the yo-yo around. So in order to keep the yo-yo, okay, no, you're holding a yo-yo in both hands. There we go. We got there eventually. Let's switch the directions before I get lost in my words. We're swinging the yo-yo around. So in order to keep the yo-yo like swinging, not necessarily moving faster, but reaching, reach in both directions. Nice. And then sweep out to the sides. Maybe stagger with your neighbor if you need to. We'll flip one palm up. So flip your right palm up, keep your left palm down. And then reach as far as you can over to the right. Then flip the palms. Reach as far over to the left as you can. So we're getting into our shoulder rotation, but also our obliques are kicking in because we're leaning. So you might also feel that in the side body. Big rotation of the shoulders. This gets into a lot of really good rotator cuff muscles, into a lot of the stability muscles in the chest and the back as well. And then bring the hands down, shake it out, good job. From here, bring your forearms behind your back, and then I'm just gonna demo this. Press your forearms into your low back to open up the chest. It's just a tiny little sensation in the front of the shoulders. Nothing too intense, so back off if there's any pain or pinching. And then let it go. Nice job. From here, we'll spread the fingers nice and wide as you can. Like you're trying to, I don't know, like there's something you really, really want and you're reaching for it. Reach, 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 reach. And then squeeze the hands into fists as tight as you can. Open up. It's Easter, like you're squeezing a peep, like a marshmallow. A peep that personally victimized you or something. I don't know where my analogies are going today. Sorry. And shake it out. I think I'm just here to make myself laugh at this point.
I think we get it.
And then from here, we'll move back into our brain teasers. So palms face towards each other. And then point the opposite index finger to the palm. Maybe try to close your eyes or move even faster, because all of you are pros at this point. And since you're all pros, we'll move into the dreaded Spock and reverse Spock. So open up nice and wide to your Spock, then reverse Spock, ring fingers and middle fingers draw together. Again, you can maybe try and close the eyes if this is starting to feel easy, but again, if you'd like to get a better look, maybe a little bit more mind-muscle connection, you can always bring the hands down to take a look at them. And then shake it out. Nice. We'll roll up through the wrists, interlace your fingers, and really hold them nice and tight. Keep your elbows in towards your body, and then rotate through the wrists. Come back to any focal points that you set at the beginning of class, especially as we start to slow down. And then whatever direction you're moving your hands, can you flip the direction? So if you're leading with the thumbs, can you lead with the pinky side of the fingers? And then shake it out. We'll sit up nice and tall. And then from here, hug your chin down towards your chest and gently guide the ear over to the shoulder. And then lower it down, sweep it over to the other side. And just move through this a few times. You can move through nice and gently, just rolling, or if there's one particular spot that starts to call to you, you can stay there. You can also add on to the range of motion, so as you sweep your ear over, maybe you choose to lift the chin a little bit. Just notice what sensations are talking to you today. If there's a side that's angrier than the other, just notice that as well. There's no right or wrong. And then as you sweep the chin over to the right side, go ahead and bring your hand to the side of the chair and just sort of lean over. Another option is if you want a little bit more stretch, you can reach that left arm up and over. Maybe bring it to your hip, wherever feels nice. You can even bring it to your elbow. Sorry, bend at the elbow, bring your fingertips to your shoulder. It's up to you. Let's stay here for one more round of breath. And then take that left hand and draw it to the outside of your right thigh. Open up for your twist. So lengthen through your spine. Bring the hand to the back of the chair and then look over that right shoulder. From here, return the hands back to center. We'll hug the chin back down to the chest, then guide the ear over to the left shoulder. Start shifting your weight onto the left side a little bit. Bring the hand to the side of the chair. And then that right arm can sweep up or over, or maybe the fingertips come to your shoulder, hand to hip. Doesn't really matter. Let's find one more round of breath. Actually, 2 more rounds of breath. Might feel nice to look up towards the sky or down towards the floor. And then lower that right hand to the outside of the leg. And then find your twist. Left hand draws to the back of the chair. Lift up through the spine and twist. And then bring yourself back through center. And we'll move through our cats and cows. Inhale, open up to cat or cow. Exhale to cat. And just move nice and slow with your own pace of breath, a little less rigid than when we found these before. So engage in any other movement that feels nice, like rolling through the pelvis or the ribs or the shoulders, through the neck. Couple more rounds of breath. And we'll bring ourselves back through center. Reset as needed, and then we'll find figure 4. So cross the right ankle over the left. That might be where you start. If you know you want to bring the ankle on top of the thigh right away, go right ahead. But wherever you are at in the range of motion, start to hug the right hip back. And then if the knee is on top, so just press the knee down. Not necessarily using force with your hand, but actively pressing the knee down to engage the muscle. And we'll sit up nice and tall wherever you're at. And maybe you explore through a little twist. Notice how it changes the sensation. You can also start to fold down at the chest. And keep that top foot flexed wherever you're at. Just create some space in the knee. Then gently press your way back up. We'll use the hands to help lower the leg back down and sway it out. And then from here, bend through the left knee and extend the right foot long for a hamstring stretch. Press the right foot down towards the ground and then think of scrubbing the entire foot back. You can stay here if this is enough of a stretch for you, but if you need a little bit more sensation, you can start to fold forward. Keep a micro bend behind that extended leg. If you're like me and your knees start to move backwards a little bit, just keep that little bend in the knee. And then another place you can take this is you can point or flex through the foot or maybe wiggle it side to side and notice how that changes the sensation. If there's anywhere that you want to hang out in, breathe some big inhales into that area of tension. Use your exhales to help release it. One more round of breath. From here, start to sit up nice and gently. We'll scooch the leg back, sway it out. And then we'll switch out to our figure 4 on the other side. So cross your ankle over your ankle or anywhere on your shin or above the knee. Your choice. Flex the top foot, sit nice and tall. And begin to explore through little twists. Or maybe folding forward. And just breathe once again. Stay with any focal points that call to you, maybe that you said at the beginning of class. And gently press up. Use your hands to guide the leg back down and shake it out. We'll move straight into our hamstring stretch. So plant down through the the right foot, extend the left leg long. Keep that little baby bend in the knee. You can sit up nice and tall if that feels like it's enough. But with a flat spine, maybe you choose to lower down, deepen the stretch in this leg. And again, you can point or flex or wiggle side to side, whatever calls to you. Just find that spot that might feel a little sticky, breathe into it. A few more rounds of breath. Open mouthed exhales are your friend. And gently rock yourself back, reset the legs, shake them out, and then take any last wiggles through the feet. Maybe pedals through the heel, roll through the ankle, point, flex the foot. And then start to get settled. Maybe sitting nice and tall or finding a better, more comfortable way to sit. We'll lengthen through the crown of the head, through the back of the neck. Stay grounded down through the feet and where you meet the chair. You can invite the eyes to close if that feels okay. And once you feel settled, like the skeleton's doing the work, then allow the muscles to soften, the face to soften, the belly, hips. Allow the full weight of your body to be supported by the chair and the floor, and ultimately by the earth. Notice once again that focal point that you set at the beginning of class. Feel the breath as the inhale expands the base of the ribs and the exhale flows out. Can you work to create space between each inhale and exhale, and each exhale and inhale? Maybe creating so much space that the breath starts to naturally rush in and flow out without any effort. Any muscles that start to grip, can you release them one by one? And then repeating the process over again and over again, as many times as you need to. Connect to 3 things you're grateful for. Three things that you love about yourself. And 3 things that you're looking forward to.